Life was rolling along just as normal. Matthew was in the throes of basketball season, and Christmas was rapidly approaching. Early December, John had a terrible head cold, and he gets those. So I said, I bet you have a sinus infection, upper respiratory infection. Make sure to go to the walk-in on Monday when you go to work.
My glands were a bit swollen, so I went to the family practitioner. She felt a lump right about here on my throat, and so she suggested that I set up a meeting with my family doctor. I had the biopsy done, and it was inconclusive, which was frustrating. So we basically took the decision with the ENT at that point in time, hey, let's just go in and take the thing out. It's still likely a cyst, and we'll be done with it. When I got the diagnosis from the ENT, he shared with us at that point, I had throat cancer, and that was the first time I'd heard HPV-16 derived throat cancer.
You just kind of are in disbelief. Really? Are you sure? And then reached out to a family member and just said, we need prayers because John has cancer.
We didn't want my son Matthew to hear about it second or third hand, so we sat down with him one evening and shared the news with him that I had throat cancer and I was likely going to survive. The odds were in my favor.
I was kind of stunned at first. I didn't know what to say, so I kind of sat silent for about 15 seconds just thinking about it.
It was alarming. It was fearful, and once again at that point in time, I was clueless about how brutal the treatment was actually going to be. The first couple of weeks weren't horrible. It was really, I think, about 3.5, 4 weeks in when I basically had so much pain in the throat from the burn of the radiation on the inside that I lost the ability to swallow anything at that point, including water. So I was taking all of my nutrition via the feeding tube. One of the other side effects of radiation of the neck and throat is something they called mucositis. Basically, you just generate all kinds of phlegm and crud in your throat that you have to spit out all the time. A couple of the doctors in the hospital said I had one of the worst cases of mucositis they'd ever seen. Pretty much lost the ability to speak for the most part.
When he couldn't talk, that was really tough because I couldn't have conversations with him. That hurt me, seeing him in a lot of pain.
He couldn't sleep. We would sleep in about 3 to 5 minute increments because the buildup of the mucus was very thick and he couldn't keep it clear. So he would doze for a couple of 2-3 minutes, 4 minutes, and then he would kind of start to choke and cough. He was like a caged animal. And when we went to radiation, I was tears rolling down my face. You have to help us.
Throat cancer and the treatment I went through, it really sucked. You don't want your son or daughter to have to go through any of that. I'd encourage anyone out there, talk to your pediatrician, talk to them about the HPV vaccine.
Number one, I think doctors have to really push this vaccine. I never want another parent to have to see their child go through this as an adult. I watched my husband go through it. My message to anybody out there would be, get the vaccine.